Right there.
Right there.
And we're live.
It's
right there.
There we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? We are hopefully coming through well. So we are not at the LessonPix office.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Well, among other things, Florida announced its shelter-in-place law today, and so we can't go anywhere. And we could technically go to the office. We will go there periodically to get our mail, and
we're the only ones there, and we're pretty much staying here all the time.
And it have been for 10 days.
Working at this very table.
And we're all sick of each other. A little bit. We're a little bit sick of each other.
Only a little.
So just a little bit. Our daughter Allie's here. Our daughter Allie is here as well with us. Everybody is safe. Our office is also safe, but very closed. All of our folks are working from home and doing well. So hopefully you guys are enjoying what we're adding. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, feel free to post comments in the comment section. If you're watching this later, thank you for joining us. Feel free to share this out. It'll stay up and be recorded, and you can watch it later if you need to. I can see all your questions on Facebook here. If somebody wants to make sure that we are be able to be heard, that would be helpful. If somebody says, I can hear you, that would be great, because we do have not our normal mic, not our normal document camera, not our normal lights.
Not our normal, we've got sunlight.
We've got sunlight. Actually, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. So one big tip, if you're doing this stuff, face a window when you're doing your videos. It makes a big difference. The only thing I can give you at that point, have a separate mic too. Don't use the mic that's in your camera up there. Have a mic that's closer to you. Denise, thank you for saying that you hear me fine. Look, I'll put you right up there. So thank you. So are we ready to go?
We are ready.
So we got a lot to share.
We've been working.
It's almost like we had spare time on our hands and we're able to crank through some things that have been waiting a while.
Or new things that
are suddenly needed.
Are more needed than
before. So we've got a lot to talk about.
Well, let's start with templates.
So we've added one brand new template.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
It is.
Circles. And here, let's put that down here. Sorry for the non-slick camera switching here.
Beautiful table.
Lovely table in our dining room. But yes, we have circle templates. And so why would we care about any of these?
Aren't they cool?
They are super cool.
There are so many needs for circle. And right now, previously, people have been going to the AbleNet buttons.
Right, the buttons, which are fixed size.
Right, in order to make those.
So they can make them there. But these are awesome. These are actually a really great template. They use the dynamic card feature to make any size template with any of your options.
And just like picture card, you can set them at half an inch.
Or lay them out automatically. And we'll go through that. I'll show you how to use it in the tool. But let's see some of the things you made.
Well, I didn't make a whole lot because
we just finished it yesterday. I know. So that's okay. So what do we got here? These are.
Well, I have examples of them in the different sizes.
Looks like I cut this guy.
I know. Well, I cut it really quick about 2 seconds ago.
Okay. So
2 minutes ago.
Somebody might have told Lori that we were going live at 5.
Samples ready. So, but I even have some teeny tiny ones and they can be used as tokens on the game boards.
All right. So that's the size of my fingers.
Little tiny ones.
Hooks.
They actually a little bit bigger than this. They don't have to be this small, but they can fit inside like Gatorade caps or milk caps.
Yep, and turn them over.
And I know Teresa, who works in our therapy center, she would hide like a Cheerio or goldfish underneath the cap and put the picture on top. And then the kids could say, and not every milk cap has a treat underneath.
Gotcha. Some might. So you're using the pirate font here, which is great because these are from Pirate Day. You converted the square ones to circles. I see that from the Pirate Day. And so you use these for badges on Pirate Day.
I did.
The kids made them themselves and got to cut them out.
I was using the cutting pages template, which also has circles that you cannot resize. They're pretty much set.
But now you can make them any size you want.
And you can pin them on and wear them with pride.
Can I show them that one?
Sure.
So can I show 2 of the pages? I have 2. Here you go. So here, these are these. Thank you.
Woohoo.
So here's a page that has the circles that are much smaller, and they have a medium size border and wide gap between them, where this one here has a thick border and no gap between them. I'll show you how to set these options. But basically, you can lay these out however you want. One of the reasons for doing that, let me switch back to us for a second. So one of the reasons for doing this is to make tokens for doing remote stuff, like on the PowerPoint. You'd have the circular pictures that you could move around.
Yep.
But let me show how you'd make these. Let me set myself up. I hadn't logged in yet. Sorry. Oh, and you can't see my screen.
That's okay.
They need to see my screen.
Oh, so that's not okay.
That's not okay. All right. So there you go. So I'm in LessonPix right here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Love the circles. All right. I'm glad you like it, Debbie. So if you go to the normal create materials, just like under picture cards, there is now circle cards. You'll see the samples. They look awfully familiar. Different table, I think, but
different table.
Different table. So hit next, and here you can change the text. I'll just call this guy pirate. I was doing some testing with the length of the text. It will wrap all the way around the circle. I'll kind of show you. Here, let's do it like this. We'll say a long sentence in this one. Okay. I'll hit next. You can change the colors. So you can change the background colors here. We'll hit next. And here you've got all the options that you're used to seeing on the picture cards.
It's a lot of options.
It's a lot of options.
Which means a lot of power.
Right. So the easy thing here is I don't know how many pictures I put in my tray, make them as big as possible and fit them on one page. Great. I would say that 90% of them come out that way.
I never use that.
I always use that. So you can say set it to exactly this width. That is the diameter of the circle. Or you can say lay it out in a grid of 3 columns by 4 rows, or maybe 3 by 3. The grid layout works. So if you click here, now these look like squares, but they're not. They will come out circles when we make them. The squares are just for layout. You can still use the painting and say we want all these guys to be green. These will all work. Save the layout. And then down here on the bottom, you can set your title, tests for webinar. You can change your page size. So letter, legal, tabloid, which is 11 by 17, or A4 if you are not in the US. You can change where the card text goes. So in this case, we'll put it on the top. You can choose the border color. Reminder here, if you choose white as your border color, you will not see the circles. That can be helpful sometimes. You can remove the unused cell. This is actually a new feature from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so it works on this one as well. That way, if there are, we'll leave it on this one. If there are pictures on the grid that aren't used, they won't have empty circles on there. Save a little bit of ink.
There you go.
You can go ahead.
I was going to say, you might go back to fit all on one page, or I don't know.
Yeah, I like the 3 by 3
you
grid.
Like the 3 by 3.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to change to a thin border and wide spacing. And here you can change your font. And we might as well mention that here is one of the new features, which is my favorite new feature. It remembers the last font you used. So if you hate Comic Sans, you'll never need to see it again.
You can always go to your Century Gothic.
Yeah, you can always use Century Gothic, which is a great alternative.
You can change it to Pirate if you want.
We can change it to Pirate, and the next time I come here, it will say Pirate. So we'll say Finish. And here I've got the pictures I just made. We can download it as a PDF. We might as well do that. I would bet it'll open full screen. Zoom out so you can see it. And here you can see that this long one says a long sentence on this one. And I move these around. That's why the first one is in the center before. But this will wrap all the way from around 7 o'clock around to about 5 o'clock. Eventually, they will overlap at the bottom. It does try to shrink the text, but it is not perfect. So you have a lot of text you can put on there.
Yeah,
a lot of it will fit on there. So I'm happy with how that turned out. You can also use this in our new formats like PowerPoint. So
another new feature.
If you haven't paid attention over the last couple of weeks, we have this new feature, which is the ability to download all of our materials in PowerPoint. So here I'll open this up in PowerPoint with the tokens, and you can see how you can move things around. Hit enable editing, maximize this. Oops, maximize
or minimize.
Or minimize. right, or minimize. And so now you can move around, check boxes or squares and things like that when you're doing your telepractice work, right? So you can, and whenever, if you haven't seen this, the tokens you're not going to use on your example, just delete them. They're here because you never know what people are going to want to use, right?
Right.
So you might want to talk about what this pirate's thinking, or magnifying glass is a big hit. I will tell you that this feature is a huge hit, right?
Magnifying, yeah.
No, the whole PowerPoint thing. So if you, so we put this in place a week ago, and we have over 4,000 materials that have been created in PowerPoint now. So we're happy you love it and are using it. I think it's a hit, which is good.
It's very much a hit, yes.
It's very much a hit, and it certainly will help you with telepractice, right?
Yep.
All right. What's next? Guys, if there's any questions, ask. I see a lot of love the circles, and that's awesome. It's wonderful. Thank you. But any questions, feel free to interrupt us. We're not going to be able to follow a real, agenda here. We're
winging it.
We're winging it. Okay. So we have some new additions to existing templates.
New styles. I didn't print a whole lot. I didn't have.
Okay. That's okay. Let's change the camera. It's so slick. Yeah. All right. So what's this under? Game boards.
New game boards.
And
there's several of them. And growing.
Yep.
More game boards. This butterfly.
Right. This butterfly is.
You would start up here, maybe use one of your new little tokens or any other coins or whatever you want. And you can have two paths. So you can either go, maybe one person goes this way and one goes this way.
Yep.
And you can race to the body.
Which is the finish.
Who gets there.
Gotcha. And this will work perfectly on PowerPoint remote because you can just use the tokens
and move it around. Yep. Right. And you can use the dice. We have dice as one of our templates as well.
The physical dice.
So if you want to, you can print a dice.
Absolutely.
And then everybody take turns with it from their own home.
Gotcha. And of course, the pictures from the Hungry Caterpillar are in the symbol library under stories and songs. They're already pre-grouped and ready to go.
They're all there.
All right. So I'll keep this token. What else do we got? So game boards are obviously very popular right now. So we've made a bunch more of them. I do wish I could get this up about. Can I have that Kleenex box up there?
Sure.
Sorry. Like I said, we're winging it. So let me see that.
There we go.
Well, let's see. Maybe. All right.
How is that?
That's okay. We can see the sun, the ray of sunshine here, but it's going to be good enough for home use. How about that? Good enough? Yeah, this is fine. This is just the sun coming in our lovely window. We'll work on it for next time. Okay. So here's the next one. It's a game board, right? And kind of the same exact approach. You've got two paths from start to finish. You don't have to do that. They can deal with this. They're gonna manage it. Okay.
I tried to lean it.
No.
All right.
Good.
So two paths on this
two
one.
Paths
Race to the flag.
So let me ask, what's the order?
They do start 1 through 10. And then 11 through 20.
Okay. So they go up in like this.
One person could be racing, doing, final T, and the next one could be doing final K, and have who can get to the top first.
Okay. Or absolutely.
However you want it.
Okay. So there's another one. What else we got?
That's all I have printed.
Okay, but we have more.
We do.
So let's go to the it's such a pain to change cameras. I miss my studio. Spoiled. I really miss my studio.
There's no problem here.
There's no problem here. It's all good. You'll survive. You'll survive. We'll do it before 5 o'clock next time.
There you go.
They don't care. Does anybody care? No, Sarah loves the new game boards. The new PowerPoint made it so simple to make a digital here. Let's show this one like this. New PowerPoint made it so simple to make a digital schedule that had movable icons. It's so helpful. Better?
Yes.
You're moving the mic. That's probably not good.
All right.
So thank you. And I'm not sure why it doesn't show your picture, Kathleen. I think it has to do with whether or not you follow us. So you should follow us, and then I can share your picture. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But if it is true.
Nobody's picture's been shown. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's a Facebook problem. I don't know. Let's share my screen and show how to make the other templates on the game boards. Okay. So we go in. We're going to go down to game boards and hit next. And next. And so what are the new ones? Do you know? Butterfly is new.
Yep. As we went, Long Path is new.
Long Path is new. And so it's got a lot more on it than
there are a lot of.
It's 53 pictures
in your tray.
Yep. Right. Race to the Flag is new.
This is the one we just
showed. Road is new. Drive
little cars along your road.
Gotcha.
Till you get to the end.
All right. Spiral.
Spiral is new. Circles inward.
Spiral's new.
And these can be used for other purposes. Like if you were collecting little tokens for behaviors when you get to the top or when you get inside the spiral, maybe you get a reward for those behaviors, like, doing dishes or something.
Gotcha. I don't know what she's talking about. What is this dishes you speak of?
Yeah. I need a little token system.
Yeah, all right. Well, you can work on that. All right. So the last one here is to treasure. So that's trying to get to the treasure box.
Yep.
Okay. So this is very similar to the treasure map template.
It is, except there are 23 pictures
instead
in there.
Of 8.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Very good. All right. So there's those. There is those. No, that's not right. There is they. I don't know. Those are the ones we wanted to show you. I'm sure that's wrong too.
These are
the ones we were going to show you. I don't know. Some grammar person, some grammar Nazi come in here and tell me the right way to say that sentence. All right. So we added more.
We did add just a couple more, and
Bingo Daubers.
With more in the work.
Right.
Bingo Daubers, we just added one cute little frog one. It's springtime. So hungry caterpillar, frogs, ladybugs are very popular this time of year.
Gotcha.
Not being in the classroom, it changes the dynamics of those fun themes.
Yeah. But you know what? You can generate them as PowerPoints
and play with them there.
Guarantee you'll use these. Bingo Daubers are actually one of the biggest hits in PowerPoint because they can put the splats on them.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah.
So I think it's because Tara showed them as a demo. So Tara Rail, thank you very much for that. All right. What else we changed? We made 2 big changes on other templates that we should probably explain. So we made
large and small pictures.
And I'm working for.
Yes.
Both made big changes.
Yes.
All right. So let's go through those. If you're not, look at the wall. We're going to need to work on our setup here for the next one of these. Large and small pictures. If you don't know, it's one of our best templates. It's got a ton of uses. It takes the first picture and makes it big, and all the rest and makes them small on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And we made some changes to this, specifically on this one, specifically for working remote.
Yes, that was the intention.
We've got you can change the background colors, and that's new.
That's new for large and small pictures.
The first picture is always still white.
Yes,
because you putting a big square there doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And filling the entire page with green doesn't make any sense either. It's just a lot of ink.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only that, when you change the border color, you have to do it for all of them. And a border, I might want yellow borders around the bottom. I'm not going to want a giant yellow border around the main picture. Right.
So you can change the background colors, which is new. And then we have an option here, which is new, which is printed on page or as separate cards. So this actually looks a lot like the First Then. So First Then has had this option for a long time, but you'll see that if you do separate cards, what this will generate is your first picture in the middle, and then it'll leave empty boxes at the bottom. And on the second page, it'll have the right size pictures to go in those boxes. So
are there any boxes on the bottom?
Yeah. So if I said I only wanted 3 pictures, I want large and small pictures, but I want 3 boxes at the bottom. I don't want pirate, but it did remember that I wanted pirate. When I hit finish, it will put 3 boxes at the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. And when I download it, you'll see that, let me zoom out. So here's the first page, and then on the second page, it's got the right size pictures for me to move up and put into this.
Yep.
Right? And one of the real reasons for this was the fact that you can now copy these and paste using the snipping tool and copy and paste them up in PowerPoint. We will probably tweak some of these to make that a little easier as we get feedback from people using PowerPoint, especially on these templates.
We got it out quickly.
We cranked this out very, very quickly. But yeah, we will probably make some tweaks, but I like it. I think this is a big improvement.
And as far as this particular template goes, it's so versatile to use for so many different ways, as all our templates are.
Right.
But this one is very nice because you can use it for beginning, middle, and end, or you can cut the pictures out and glue them on.
Have feed the old lady and all that kind of stuff.
All that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's one. And then the other big one is I'm working for.
I'm working for.
So I'm working for is a advanced first then board. So it's a behavior management strategy mainly. You put what your goal is into the center, and then you put what you want the kiddos to do. Like you could put laundry, dishes.
You can,
right?
yes.
Yes.
You could. This again is
I'm not sure what you put at the top.
Another versatile
So
very useful template, but it can be either tasks in order to get what you're working for.
Yeah.
It can be choices
right.
of actions. So kind of a first you choose and then you get the reward.
Right.
A third option is more of a task analysis. Like I'm working to go potty.
Right.
First, I pull down my pants, and then, so you have each of the steps.
So it's kind of a virtual schedule with a goal, visual schedule with a goal on the end.
There are so many uses for this. Yeah. It's a very powerful tool, as first thens have been very much proven, evidence-based practice. This is sort of an extension of that.
Gotcha. And so there are some changes to this one that are important. These have been here for a while. Mm-hmm. You can change the background color, but I guess you always could.
Recently. I added that a couple months ago.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you can change the background colors. And then there are some changes here that are important.
These are cool.
So the first is you can have the pictures printed on a separate page, and that's new. Mm-hmm. Just like I won't bother making one of these. And we looked at this, and we actually had a discussion about it on the our helpers group, our beta testers group, in that this was the only template that mattered, that wanted the goal picture, the central picture last. In every other template, it always goes top to bottom, left to right. And so it was wrong.
Backwards, but in
design. But for a reason, right? You did this because it was the steps and you were working towards this goal. Having the goal last made sense.
Right.
But it was different. And so a lot of people have complained about this, and we've seen a lot of people make it wrong and then have to go back and redo the what the goal is.
I have made it wrong.
Of course, we've all made it wrong.
I had to hit the back. Fortunately, it's easy to fix when you make the error.
So normally you would have to hit go here, hit the back button, and then take the picture that you wanted. Oh, I wanted this is what I wanted to be the goal. You drag it down to the end, and that would fix it. But that's still kind of a pain, and some people don't know that you can change the order here. Which there you go, you can change the order here if you need to.
Ta-da.
But we actually added this, so there is. Now you have the choice. Do you want the first picture in your tray to be the goal, or do you want the last picture in your tray to be the goal? And you just highlight the one you want. And it defaults to last because that is what we've always done. Mm-hmm. If you wanted the first one, you could make it the first one. Okay. So before we move on, I'm going to look for questions. I think there's a couple.
One says demo the Snip Tool, which we can do.
The snippet tool. We will do that. So this says...
the new PowerPoint made it so simple.
We had that, didn't we? Mm-hmm. All right. Love the new game boards. The longer game boards are great. Most of these have been
more longer.
Okay. The other thing to remember is that we'll probably show how to put our pictures directly into PowerPoint, so that you can make your own. Can you do a demo of the Snip Tool? Yeah, we'll do that at the end. Okay.
Perfect.
It's inside. Yeah. So we'll do it. We did it in my last presentation with TerraRail. So if I forget, or if you don't like the way I do it now, go back. I did it then too. Okay. All right. So that will make them printed on a separate page. Printed on a separate page, and it will generate those. What else we got?
Those are our templates, aren't they?
Those are the templates. Okay. So then we have a couple new features and a bunch of pictures.
Right? Yeah. More pictures are being drawn.
Yeah. Let's do the pictures. They're fun. They're fun. You can tell them what's on the way, and we can show them some fun stuff that just went up. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're being put up now.
Okay.
In chunks, but there are a lot of new pictures.
All right. So Lori is our artist. So she draws, and then things filter through to you, as she draws and uploads and indexes and colors and right.
Teresa keeps track of the list. She tries to answer or figure out how to do it.
I want to show them something.
Yes.
So I want to show what happens when we're stuck in a house with nothing to do. So this is what happens when Lori is stuck in a house. These are all
when
new.
I'm sick of looking at screens.
Right. When she can't look at screens anymore, she
doodle
draws,
in front of a movie.
Draws and draws and draws and draws. These are all upside down. So there you go. This is
upside down. My goodness.
EEG.
Yeah.
EEG. All right.
It's an EEG.
We got a document camera. What are we doing? Hold on a second. Folks. Sorry. We have a document camera and we're holding things up to the screen. We're dodos. All right. So let's go through some of these. These are.
My goodness, I can't believe you're doing that.
Why not? Why not? So these are things that are on the way, and they're gonna get access to, right? All right, making them all nauseous. EEG.
He's laying down.
All right. So EEG.
All right. So this was a user request. We had a user request for Yeti. I didn't know what kind of Yeti they needed. So I drew 2 types of Yeti. Considering there's a new movie, I assumed it was this one.
But you also made a Yeti.
But why not make it?
Why not?
We don't name it Yeti.
Right?
We name it a cup.
All right.
It is not up yet.
Gotcha.
So the way I draw these pictures, just to show you, is I do sketch them out in pencil. So this one's like in pencil. And then
and this is not one that was on your list. You just whipped this up because I asked for a first pass one.
You did, and I had already done sketching. There is a similar picture in here that looks like this.
Okay. Let me find
it.
it.
I don't know where it is. And
it's in the big old stack of stuff.
There's
here.
A whole pile of cars in there, but it might take a while to find.
I got it.
You got a flat tire.
I got him. Got the right one. Right there.
They're traveling on vacation. Good enough.
Good enough, right?
See? There you go.
This is done.
All right. They're also traveling on vacation.
All right.
He's going to the beach.
All right. Good enough. They look like, you can see that this is step 1 of her process. And then this would be, so then you ink these.
Yep.
With a pen and ink. And then you erase them and you get to this.
Yep.
And then you scan them.
Then we scan them and color them.
And then we index them into the system so that you guys can search for them.
That's how they're drawn.
That's how this goes. But so if you want to look at step 2, which is erased and otherwise ready, right? We've got a lot in the pipeline.
These are not up.
No, these are not up. So this one is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So some of these are up. So you also just went nuts and did a bunch of telepractice stuff.
I did a ton of telepractice.
So I think they get the idea of your drawing. Is there any particular ones that are super cute that you want to show? Wine glass?
Actually, you can. This was a user request. That I don't know if we have wine glass, but I drew 3.
3.
Because you need the different styles.
Sure, we need that.
Drinking chlorophyll.
Absolutely. Pollution and some atoms and oxygen tank and what is that?
That will be a fig tree.
This is not yet a fig tree.
These are all user requests.
Gotcha. And yes, Lori really does draw all these in front of movies on our sofa. Maybe we'll do that at our next at-home thing. We can watch you draw. All right. So let's. Do
you want to see the telepractice?
Yeah,
already
I'll show
there?
them. Yeah, I'll go back to our regular camera.
So this dude's already up there.
All right. So so this guy, after he's inked and erased and scanned, the next step is Lori will. Right. So let's look at like this. And let's do a search for telepractice.
Sure.
If we do a search for telepractice, look, there he is. This is the picture, right?
Yep.
And he's in there and he's ready to go.
There's 2 styles of this guy, 2 different skin tones.
Right. So we got that one and this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also, of course, have the black and white, which looks a lot like the one we just showed, right? The one we were just looking at.
Look very
zoomed in, cleaned up a little bit. And then there's also stencil and stencil versions of both of the skin tones as well, correct?
Yeah.
And so we've got a lot of these telepractice ones. So if we look back at my search, here, let me go back to my search. Here. So let's look at all of these. We've got folks pointing at the screen. We've got males and females with headsets and headphones, working at a computer, looking at an iPad, looking at a Chromebook, looking at, that's a desk. That line is a desk. So that's got a weird, it looks better up there. And looking at a video meeting. So look, all the things we do all day now are in LessonPix. And these are in there now. These are all done.
Those are up there.
Those are all done. All right.
It's very exciting.
So everybody says yay. Carrie Ann says yay. Says yay. Yeah, and we have her picture, so she must follow us. Bunch of pictures going up. Probably you will probably break 50,000 this week.
Yes.
We will break 50,000 original symbols this week.
Yep. And
you've drawn 99% of them.
Yes. We have a new artist who is also drawing.
Yeah. Well, so we've had some of our daughters. 2 of our daugers have drawn pictures.
The kid-drawn pictures.
Kid-drawn pictures are separate, but even as regular pictures, Allie's drawn a few. Emily's drawn a few. Mm-hmm. And now Allie Carson is drawing some.
Yep.
And she's cranking through some.
Exceptionally talented.
Yeah. Her current artwork is very impressive. So she's probably watching her mom and dad are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do have other folks, but I would bet, let's just say the lion's share of these went through the process that you just saw, and you've drawn them all.
Yeah.
And you never take credit for it. And I'm going to brag about you a little bit. Okay.
Some of them are, some are not very good, but they all convey the message, and it is hard not to, get derailed and start getting creative, and you have to maintain focus.
Right.
Keep it simple.
And none of us can do any of it. So. All right. So thank you. I'm glad you guys like it.
Now we want to go to some of the features.
We want to go through a couple features that are new, and we've kind of talked a long time. Sorry about that. So some things we need to show. Probably the biggest one will be the search.
The search is so exciting. All
right. So some of you are going to be really excited because I did something that we've been waiting a long time, and it suddenly became much more important that I finish this. But if you go to your LessonPix now, and you click here on your materials, there are some changes to this screen. And the biggest one, we'll do the biggest one first, is this new tab right here that says search. So if you go to this tab, you can now search your own materials. So if you were working with a kiddo,
let's look for
Teresa. It will find the things that have Teresa in it. Now this is my sample.
I have a lot of Teresa.
I know, right? So but it will look for several things. It will look for the word Teresa. So for example, if you look in here in the text, it will talk about, somewhere in here it says, thanks Teresa Ruth for the idea. So it's searching this text. It's searching these keywords, which there aren't any on this one. And it's also searching the text of all the pictures that you used. So because Teresa is right here in this picture, it is searching that text as well. So this should be a big deal, right? So a lot of people really want this. When you make a lot of materials, it is very hard to manage and find the things that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a particular kid, you can find their picture. But also, if you want to keep track of your materials, you can just make up your own system, right? So you can go in here and say, okay, I'm going to say all of my picture cards of my kiddos, I'm going to make sure I mention it in here. And I say pictures of #kiddos, right? And if I do that, and then you don't have to use the word the hashtag, that's just a reminder for me because people use hashtags in other settings. But if you go to your LessonPix and you go to your materials and do a search, you can now look up #kiddos.
Can you look up just kiddos?
You can. It will still
kids.
Find it.
That won't work.
That won't work. Sorry. Glad you kids so. Can't type in this setting. Sorry. So if we do a search, it will find this one. You'll also see it'll find this one because it's got the word kiddos in it, even though it doesn't have the hashtag. It says with my kiddos, right? So you don't have to use the hashtag. It is a good indicator that that's why this word is in the sentence, and it's why we use it in Twitter and things like that. But if you want to put your kid's name either in the text, or you can always go in and add it as a tag here. So I could put in family as a tag, And when I hit save changes, if I search for family, this will show up in that search, which is really cool. And it's needed. It's been needed for a long time.
While you're here, before you click, you can also do that add to favorites. I don't know if people know.
Right here?
Right there.
Right here, yeah.
Yep. And then if you ever...
Right here.
Yep. And then if you ever need it again, there is a heart at the top.
Right here where it says add. This will give you your favorites. It will take you back to this page.
I've used that a lot to find things, but I love the fact that I've had materials buried way down.
That
I
you
make
use a
so
lot.
much stuff.
So you can mark it.
And I'm looking for someone's schedule, and if I didn't mark it as a favorite, it was so nice to type in that student's name and get all the materials for that student.
So
very cool.
So the favorites feature, just so you guys remember, the favorites feature will let you mark other people's things from the sharing center as well. So they're not only yours. You can mark any material as a favorite, and it will end up in this list.
The search is only for
your material.
Gotcha.
They will come up. Okay.
Very cool.
There is one other change. You might have noticed if I do a search here, you'll see that the controls at the top are here. So if I want to delete this, I can delete it. It'll be gone forever. That's okay right now. And it'll work. Before that only worked on the All Materials tab. Sorry, right here, the All Materials tab. What's up with my screen? There you go. Oh, I'm on the All Materials. No. Oh, Metal Note. I have a bug.
Huh?
So on the search page, this link doesn't work after you do a search. I'll fix that. It used to be that you had to be on the All Materials page to see those controls, which meant that if you're on the public materials, you couldn't make things non-public, and that was a bug. So while I was in there, I fixed that here as well. So now you can change them on the public page, the All Materials, or the search. You can't do it on the favorites because some of those pictures aren't yours. Okay. All right. I'm sure there's at least a comment or two. Thanks so much. That's you. You have some serious skills. That's all about Lori right there. So, all right. So that's big.
That's big.
And
you made some improvements to the mobile site.
We made some improvements to the mobile site. The big thing about that has to do with when you get to a link in LessonPix, like an article link or a sharing center link, and you bring it up on your phone, it used to show the non-mobile version with a link at the top that said, go to our mobile site. And if you click that, it would take you to the top of the mobile site. It now has enough smarts to find the same article in the mobile setting.
So if you're sharing a link.
Yeah, don't worry about which one you share. It'll work itself out.
Not cool.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. All right.
Now, PowerPoint. Somebody wanted to
you want to see the
snippet
tool. By the way, see this? I'm slowly turning into Barry Gibb.
Yeah, my hair's getting long too.
Yeah. So the next time you see me, Lori may have cut my hair.
Oh my gosh, there might not be. This might be the last video for a while.
Yeah. So either that or I turn into old Fabio.
I said I've never used snip clippers, whatever they're called, in my life.
No, you're gonna. So
there is another good.
So the question was
up above. Well, somebody had one about puzzle cards. That was pretty interesting. Oh, there you go. Sarah Adams.
Sarah Adams.
Right there.
This one?
Yeah.
I would love it if puzzle cards could be separated and interactive in PowerPoint. Me too. Me too. So there are some limitations to what we can do in PowerPoint. Let me kind of go over this. So what we can do easily in PowerPoint is we can take the PDF images, we can convert them to PNG, and we can put them in as backgrounds or foregrounds as entire images. I'll show you how to use the snippet tool. It really only works well on square things.
Okay.
So the puzzle cards are going to be very hard. We have looked at other ways to use PowerPoint. Let me just say, we are not necessarily done with what we're doing with PowerPoint or Word. But there are some real challenges in going further than.
And usually we do a lot more testing, and instead we went heads down
and cranked it in a week.
Got PowerPoint out. Right. Really, yeah.
Yeah. So we may have another round of things in PowerPoint. The puzzle cards are a very good idea. They would be a big hit. Mm-hmm. The ability to have individual pictures that go into PowerPoint as separate symbols is going to be really hard. And unless I get a lot better at coding Microsoft's formats, which are train wreck, by the way, I don't see that happening soon. So, Sarah, I would like to have a better answer for you, other than we are continuing to work on it. Okay. And I think that was the question you wanted to cover, right?
Yep.
All right. So the snippet thing, let's see if I can put that back up here. Just so I can talk to the person who's asking about
down
it.
Below.
Down below.
Yeah, I just saw it. We're at Audrey Williams, right above Sarah. There you go.
Could you please demo the Snip Tool? Sure. All right. So let me go back to my screen and go into PowerPoint. And I'll kind of show you how the Snip Tool, it's called the Snipping Tool, how it works. Let me turn off this because it's covering the bottom. So Audrey, the way the Snip Tool works is that in any app, period, so not just in PowerPoint, anywhere in Windows, you can go in and take a small screenshot and copy it. That's pretty much what it does. So in order to get to it, you can either hit Windows and type in Snip and Sketch Tool. That's this one right here. You might have this one installed as well. This is the older one, but this is the one that comes built into Windows. And if you open it, it will pop up like this, and you can use it as a snipping tool. It's not the easy way to do it. The easy way is that from any place in Windows, if you hold the Windows key, Shift and S, you'll see it goes into a mode where wherever you draw, like I'll draw on the smiley face here, you'll see it will copy that to your clipboard. And it pops open and it says, Snip saved to clipboard, and it's now there. And so now if I go back into PowerPoint, right, and hit paste, Control V, I now can paste it, okay? So what we did, and the reason that we made the changes to the templates, is that if you wanted to be able to move cards around that had the pictures, when they're on the second page, it makes it a lot easier to cut them.
Do you want to do an I am working for?
Sure, we'll do an I am working for.
Or a large and small picture?
Which one has
you can go to the sharing center and grab
between
one.
The pictures?
Oh.
Let's do large and small pictures.
Okay.
You want to do I'm working for?
Sure.
Sure, we'll do this one. So we'll do I am working for. We do realize that these are not the right pictures for I'm working for. We'll say I want 4 pictures on the bottom.
I want the first picture to be it.
That should say 3, shouldn't it?
So look at the picture next to it.
I know. I know. Number of pictures. Oh, it's just different from the other one says number of small pictures. So this is correct. This is the right number of pictures. I want the last one up here. I will go ahead and say put these on the separate cards, and we'll say finish. Once they're generated, we will hit, instead of download as PDF, other download formats, and I will just choose PowerPoint fixed without any tokens. I think it'll show what we're talking about doing. I'll open this, and the idea here is I want to be able to move the pictures into here. So I'll hit edit. I will go into the second page. And so here, if I go in and use the snipping tool, I can go in and grab this picture.
I don't know if they can see you.
They can. They can.
They can.
Well, that last time they told me they could. It doesn't look like you can, but it shows that picture. So now I go up here and I hit paste, and I've got this picture that we can move around. And because I had zoomed in, it looks bigger, but you can resize it pretty easily and move these things as you want to change what they're doing. So that's the idea behind the snipping tool, is that you basically go in, and there's another option under insert right here in PowerPoint where it says screenshot. Down at the bottom, it says screen clipping, and that kind of does the same thing, right? So you click here, and then that only works if you're clipping from something other than PowerPoint. So don't do that. So use the snipping tool, like I said, which is get the thing that you want to copy, Windows Shift S, draw a box around what you're trying to copy. Should have zoomed in. Go back to the page you want it, paste it, and you can resize it. So that's that's what we were talking about. And I hope, Audrey, I hope that answers your question. We have other thoughts about how we can make this easy, and we'll continue to work on it. Carrie Ann says, Tally Kellerstein, how are you? The beginning, middle, and end cards could be used as puzzles. They can.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because it does divide your picture, and I use
and
those
it does
a lot.
straight up and down lines. Right?
Straight up and down lines. It's just simply cutting up a picture.
Right, and you can do that more easily with the snipping tool. Mm-hmm. Remember, they're all trying to do this stuff remote, right?
Yeah.
And
we're all learning.
Sarah says we can see. Thank you for telling me you can see.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. So, what else have we got? Anything?
You covered my list.
I think we covered most of the list.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's anything else we were going to talk about. I think this is about it. We have some other things that we're dealing with a lot of. We have a lot of people trying to work remote. We have a lot of people trying to use Zoom from Chromebooks, trying to use Keynote instead of PowerPoint. What I can tell you is everything that we just showed with PowerPoint works in PowerPoint, and it works in Google Slides. On Chromebooks, there is an option under File that says Save as Google Slides. And Beth Poss, one of our speech paths, said that really makes it easier to move things around. So if you're having trouble on a Chromebook, that might be a tip. If you'd like, I can
save as Google Slides.
Right, save as Google Slides.
When you open it.
When you open it up.
In Google Slides.
Right, so when you open it up as a PowerPoint, it keeps it in PowerPoint format until you hit File, Save as Google Slides. And once you've done that, it seems that the Chromebooks behave better. Gotcha. I don't think that's necessary on any other platform. You can ask Beth. So Beth, hold on. Tally says, sadly, Shift+S doesn't work for my snipping tool. It is Windows, Shift, and S. So Windows is the thing that looks like a Windows icon. And if you're on Windows 10, I think it's built in and works. So try again. And Tally, you can tell me if it works or if it doesn't. But it's that Windows key. It's usually next to your Alt key. It just has the Windows logo here. I'll show you. I can do this.
You have the power.
I do. I have the power. So it is. Oh, no. Just let it be. I got it. All right. So it is. Wow. It's going to be upside down. Oh, wow. It's this key right here. Okay. So if you hold this and Shift and then hit S, it should launch the snipping tool. And if it doesn't, tell me what version you're using, and I will ask Microsoft what the deal is, because I have friends in low places. So
Tally said it works.
Tally says it works. Good.
Yay.
There you go. So that's how you get your snipping tool. And you put her up. There you go. So, all right. Any other questions before we go? I mean, another thing that we are hearing is people wanting to share their materials. We have a whole video on this. Please watch it. We reduced the restrictions on sharing things electronically. You may share them with your classroom remotely, with your students in your class remotely. If you have something other than that, please ask us. We have districts who want to be able to share things like all their speech paths have accounts and they want to share something to everybody's kids. As long as they ask, we have given permission to do that with like a little thing that says shared with permission. And then it always has to be behind some kind of a password. So whether it's on Canvas or Google Docs or Dropbox or I don't care. It has to be not public on the internet. And I want to share while we're talking why. This is not a matter of us not trusting you, and it's not a matter of us really trying to lock things down and make more money. It's that once any of our materials are on the public internet, they are immediately downloaded and shared by bots. So if Google can find it, it will. And Google's pretty well behaved. But there are dozens of other bots. There are thousands of other bots that pick up every image and just place them automatically into iStock Photo, which cleans them up. But a lot of places don't. So we find so many things. Whenever we see a material that is shared publicly, we immediately see it being used all over the world. in a way that we have absolutely no control over. So there are lots of ways to password restrict your materials. And we're not picky about which one you use, right? You can email it to your parents, which is fine. But if it's on the public internet, the answer is no. And that's really not going to change. So if the number of questions could go down on that one, maybe this will be worth saying, right?
It's a tough time. People are trying to figure it out.
Absolutely.
And how to distribute appropriate materials for their families.
Right. Absolutely.
And I get the questions. And when you don't know, it's okay to ask.
Yep. And so we are flexible on what you're trying to do, but that is the line that when you try to cross it, it causes too much trouble for us to. We would need several more employees to track down all the problems. We have one now.
Now, Sarah asked a question, can we email a set of pictures?
Can you email a set of pictures to a parent for use in homework between sessions? Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. You can email the PDF files or the PowerPoint files that you create to your parents. They may not, you are responsible for making sure that they don't sell them, right? They've got your name in them. If I see them being sold, I will come back and tell you about it. But that's, in this day and age, we are not concerned even in the slightest with that. We understand you have to send things home electronically. It's fine. You can email them. You can't post them public.
There you go.
That's the line. Okay. Thank you for asking, which is a good one.
And Denise
says, in PowerPoint, I also reinsert the background image and then crop the part of the picture I want. I will do this multiple times. So that's great. You might find that the ones that say movable are a good option to you. We've actually seen scenarios where people use both. Mm-hmm. They create the fixed image, which is the background, and then they download the movable one and they copy it on top. So you can do that as well. So yeah, absolutely. Right. Tons of options.
I really love to hear what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and it's really driving our development a lot right now. So it's great. So, all right. Sarah says it's great. And you're welcome. It's all good. Mm-hmm. So I think we're good, right?
We did it.
It took us longer than we expected.
Under an hour.
Well, we wanted a half an hour.
I know.
So, but there's two of us.
Stuff. Oh,
so that's two of us. So that's all you. So any other questions before we go? If not, ask them below in the comments, either on YouTube or on Facebook. Join the Facebook users group. You'll get answers there before we have a chance to get to you. And also we'd love to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll probably, I do know we're going to have Chris Bouguet and Beth Post next week. Working on games that they're using with parents. So that's one.
Through
Telepractice. And then
they are putting that together.
And I think that's Thursday, but I don't have a time yet. And then I think I'm going to talk Judy Schoonover into playing art kits with me and putting together art kits. So we'll do that one separate. We'll find out when that is. Mm-hmm. You can watch this again. Absolutely, Allison. You can watch this again. As soon as this is over, you can then restart on Facebook. They don't let you rewind while this is running, I don't think. But once it's over, you can watch this as many times as you want, and you can share it with as many people as you'd like. One person's grumpy.
Yeah.
Carlene Graff, why are you grumpy? Don't be grumpy. I don't think you meant to say that.
Maybe she hit it by accident.
Didn't think she'd be called out on it. So. All right. It looks like everybody else is happy. So if you guys have questions, I call everybody out. You have questions, let us know, and we will absolutely answer them. Thanks, guys. Keep using LessonPix. As always, good luck and have fun.
Stay healthy.
All right. Good luck. Stay healthy.
Our hearts go out to all the families with all we're dealing with.
Yeah. Especially New York. All our friends are in New York, which sucks.
Yeah.
So if you're in New York, good luck. And if there's anything we can do,
we're thinking of you.
Yeah, let us know. Okay. Bye, guys. See you later.